Hi everyone, I'm Riley from Echidna Sewing. Welcome back, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make an embroidered cutlery holder. These holders will make a statement at your next gathering and are perfect for one spoon, fork and knife. Now we recommend using a lighter weight fabric like a cotton poplin, as the heavier the fabric is, the bulkier your seams are going to be. The machine I'm using in this video is the Brother M370, which is great for this project as it's both a sewing and embroidery machine. Here is everything else you're going to need for this project, but you can check out the full list down below. So let's get into it. To start with, make sure you have pre-ironed all your fabric, which you can see I've already done. Then from your first fabric, you want to cut out two pieces that are 9 inches by 4.5 inches. These will form the back pieces. I'm going to do that from my printed fabric, as I'm going to leave my plain fabric for my embroidery. Then from your second fabric, you want to cut two pieces that are 6 inches by 4.5 inches. However, if you are doing embroidery, make sure you cut one of these pieces big enough to suit your hoop size. I'm using a 4x4 hoop today, so pretty much half of that will be great for me. And then we're going to trim it down to this size after you've embroidered. Now from here, we're going to add our embroidery. So if you aren't doing that with us, you can skip ahead to the next chapter. This is the design I'll be embroidering today, which you can find for free on our website. We do also have a matching pack of 10 designs available for purchase, which includes this design here. So go check that out as well. Firstly, I'm just going to mark the center point of my fabric so I can accurately stitch my design out. So you can grab a friction pen, or if your fabric is a bit darker, you can use some chalk, which I'm going to use. And then fold your fabric in half twice, making sure the right side are together. And mark a horizontal and a vertical line at that center point where your folds meet. Now you can hoop up your fabric with a piece of stabilizer. I'm using a soft away tearaway, and load your hoop into your machine. Now before I start stitching this design, I do know that this design in particular is going to be a little bit too wide for the width of our cutlery holder, so I'm just going to scale it down a little bit by going to size and then just scaling it down to about as far as it will go. Hit OK, and that size is going to be perfect for my cutlery holder. Now you can go ahead and start stitching the design out. Once your design is done, you can remove it from the hoop, remove any excess stabilizer if you need to, give it a press with your iron and trim it down to the size required, which is 6 inches by 4.5 inches. Now you can grab your other front piece and place these right sides together with your embroidered piece, making sure that the embroidery is sandwiched between, and pin or clip that top edge to secure it. Now you can stitch that top edge together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and a straight stitch. Then once you've stitched those together, open the pieces so that they are wrong sides together, and you want to press that sewn seam flat with your iron. And we can set that aside for now. Next, you want to cut a piece of elastic that will be 4.5 inches long. I'm using 12mm wide elastic, and I wouldn't recommend using something thinner as it won't hold the cutlery as well. Now you can grab one of your back pieces, and with your friction pen and ruler, you want to mark a point on the right side of the fabric, 4 inches from the top, on both sides. Then you want to pin each end of your elastic onto those points you've just marked. Do make sure that your elastic is nice and straight as well and not stretched. You don't want to have any of your fabric bunching up. It's just sitting nice and flat on top of your fabric. Then again, with your friction pen, mark a line 1.5 inches from either side. These will be your stitch lines. Now you can stitch those 2 lines with a straight stitch, making sure that you back stitch or lock stitch at the beginning and end so the stitching doesn't come undone. Now you can grab your embroidered front piece from before, and you want to align the bottom and side edges with the bottom and side edges of the elasticated back piece we've just done. And when you do this, the elastic should be hidden behind the embroidered piece. And pin or clip those together to secure them. Then stitch both sides and the bottom together with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and a straight stitch. Finally, you can grab your remaining back piece and place it right side down, aligning all of the edges together, and pin or clip those to secure them together. And before I clip the top together, I'm just going to grab my friction pen and a ruler and mark a 2.5 inch gap at the top of the holder, and we're going to leave this open when we stitch the pieces together. Alright, and now you can stitch the holder together with a straight stitch and a 1/4 inch seam allowance. After you've stitched it together, we just need to trim down the seam allowance at the corners to reduce the bulk. Now you can turn the holder right side out and poke the corners out with your purple thing, or chopsticks work great too if you don't have one of these. Then give it a good press with your iron, making sure that you tuck in that turning hole and pin it shut as well. Finally, all you need to do is top stitch the entire perimeter of the holder at about an 1/8 of an inch from the edge, making sure that you stitch that turning hole shut in the process. And that's how you can make an embroidered cutlery holder. Now, if you're interested in any of the products that we use in this video, you can check out our website for more information. And don't forget to tag us on Instagram so we can see your creations too. Thanks for watching and happy stitching.